you go around and it's like you kick the door once and it doesn't budge, but you just hammer at it with the shoulder until you manage to shear the where the lock meets in the door, and the door flies open and slams. You make an awful lot of noise doing this though, and what you see before you find really shocking. It's pretty minging. Like the walls look like they're coated in old blood, like there's been there for a long time, like years of just stuff being butchered in here. The corpses of Brewy and Mr. are actually hung up on like meat hooks. The smell of rotten flesh. Make a perception check because there's a heap of bones in one corner.
Oh, I like those dogs. Perception, you say? Oh my god, 2.
You just glance over at this sort of heap of offal in the corner and you see bones and you go, these bones don't belong together.
Oh.
So there's like a variety of things which have been butchered in here in the past, you think. Some of the bones look older than others.
Oh my god. I immediately step back in horror and step out of the room. Turn to look at the girl.
Like I say, as you're going in there, it's like the girl is actually stood at the door as you turn around to leave, and she's looking at you like.
I nodded her and just move her slightly and go out.
Literally, as you start to move her, you hear Maudlin's voice going, "What are you doing, gal?"
Where's the voice coming from?
Just outside.
Literally just outside. I draw my sword.
Okay. Initiative then. I've never had to do initiative.
I think this is the first fight we've ever had in like 8 weeks.
No.
Since we
started
started.
a fight.
No, he ran away.
He ended up getting in a fight inadvertently.
Oh, he did. Yeah. He did, didn't he? Oh wow, a fight!
What do you want to do for the spiders?
Well, Simon did most of the fighting. Reds just rolled 2s. A fight? Wow, oh my goodness. Okay, initiative. Didn't sort out initiative order. What's my number for initiative?
Dexterity bonus. +2.
Okay. 13.
Okay. You draw your sword.
Is it? I have a long sword on me.
Yeah. So you draw your long sword, and as you're pushing Evelyn out of the way, just as you're pushing Evelyn out of the way, off to the left, coming towards the door outside, you see Maudlin. Unlike last night, she somehow seems powerful, and she's walking with strength and intent.
Maudlin, if that is your name, I command you to stop right there. I want some answers now.
And she's like, "Do you now?" And actually reaches out towards your sword blade.
Towards the sword blade?
You have initiative, so what do you want to do?
I warn her, if you come any closer, I will take that as an act of aggression upon me. Why did you murder these dogs? Who are you? What is going on? Speak, or you will be hurt.
She just goes, "Evelyn, my dear, make a it's a dexterity based save. What's it called? Willpower for reflex save. It's dexterity modifier. No, it'll be dexterity modifier.
Oh,
critical
good fail! I didn't know.
She starts reaching for your blade, and you demand answers, and she just says, "Evelyn, my dear," and you feel a needle prick your other hand, and you pass out.
What? No!
But you have to make a fortune save first because you just crit failed on that. Make a fortune save to see what happens.
It's you know, for storytelling purposes, that's a great time to get a crit fail.
You immediately feel woozy. It's like whatever it is, she's just you feel the needle going into you, and it goes in deep, and you know whatever's just happened.
Oh my goodness! What is a fort save?
Fortitude is Constitution.
Constitution, 15.
Okay. So like you start feeling woozy, you stagger away from the girl, brace yourself against the wall as the woman's hand grabs the blade, like fearlessly, like she's not worried about it being sharp.
Wow.
And back to you. You're staggered. You're like feeling woozy.
Like
your vision,
hand against the wall, like
you
really
haven't passed out, but you recognise this as being some kind of.
I've been drugged or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh goodness. Like how disorientated am I? Like literally.
You know, like your vision's swimming, like things are moving in front of your eyes. Like you can't pinpoint exactly where anybody is.
Okay.
And she's got hold of your sword as well. So if you've got your sword in your right hand, you've just sort of been the left hand was down because you had your right hand forward. You felt the needle go deep into your left hand.
Yeah.
And you stumbled, braced against the wall, and she's grabbed hold of the blade, and you're sort of like confused as to why she would grab the blade.
I just, I don't know what to do.
Do the first thing that comes.
First thing that comes to head is just wrench the sword back.
Make a strength check.
Okay. So, 8.
You feel like an iron grip on the blade, and the blade doesn't actually move, and it's sort of some part of your mind goes, this should be cutting through that person's hand. They should not be able to hold a sword blade like that. And you see the other hand coming forward as if to sort of claw your face, like with a like sweeping gesture coming towards your face. What's your armor class? It's going to be 10 plus.
Ooh, AC, of course. Yeah.
It's going to be 10 plus Dex 12.
Would that
You're
be
not
like?
wearing any armor.
I'm not wearing any armor. No.
At the moment, your AC will be 12 then.
12.
Because it's Dex modifier.
That's
AC.
sorry.
Okay, so like you trying to wrench your sword. She's grabbed the blade. You're staggering. You try to rip your blade out of her hand, but it holds firm as this sort of other hand swings towards you. But you pull just hard enough that it causes her to stumble a bit, and now you're sort of opposite each other in the door frame, like pretty close. And she's shorter than you, but she seems to be almost the same height as you now.
I try and shoulder barge her to knock her onto the floor to run out the door. I'm going to try and knock her down onto the floor.
That'll be
like literally just push her as hard as I can.
Okay. Roll a dice. It'll be +1 for strength.
Free.
You go to shoulder barge her, and she definitely manages to get out of the way of the shoulder barge, trip you, and you end up tumbling to the floor.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. The sword is out my hand at this point. I'd stumbled to the floor, my hands are down, I've let go of the sword.
Because of ching 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 clattering across the floor.
2 hands on the floor.
And you're completely taken aback by how strong this woman was, because you were treating her like a woman, and you're realising as you hit the floor that this person you have to fight as seriously as you've ever fought anybody in your life.
Oh my goodness.
You recognise somebody who is a skilled fighter.
I'm still really disorientated.
Yeah.
I scrabble on all fours out the door in desperation.
Okay. Oh no, you succeeded that without even trying.
Oh good.
But you feel like as you're you can do 2 things. So you start crawling out. You're going to get to your feet as well, or you just literally scrabbling out.
Out of panic.
Okay, so you scrabble out and you start crawling out.
Oh my god.
And you feel a hand grab your ankle. And this hand has grabbed hold of your ankle. Make a strength check.
16.
They start trying to pull you back, and what shocks you is it feels like they could. but you wrench your ankle free and carry on scrabbling away.
Good. I try and scrabble to my feet.
Okay. Yeah, you can just do that.
Just do that, and
so you scrabble,
run.
And the foot grabs you. All right, so you're doing a get up
scrabble.
and run.
They grab the foot. They don't manage it, and I want to scrabble to my feet and just run.
Okay, you scrabble to your feet. You start sprinting.
Basically, I'm a trained master of arms. Okay, I'm used to training with strong men. These two women, a woman and a little girl, have just kind of overpowered me to the point of where I'm really shocked by this. I'm so disorientated. Instinct, I've got to get out of here.
Make a strength check.
All right. 20, natural 20. Where were you before, bro?
Okay, in your state, I mean, because the other thing is you realise you're poisoned and you're like, I cannot fight someone who's skilled whilst I'm like this, so your years of combat experience kick in and you know that the best thing is to give yourself enough time to recover and then come back with the full force of arms at your disposal. So you just bolt. You don't look back and you just hear a cackle come up from behind you. And it's like, I'll get you, Drew Wentworth. And you've never told her your name.
I did introduce myself as Drew.
But you never told her your full name.
I didn't tell her my full name. No,
and
I introduced myself as Drew to her daughter.
And you sprint across the field and the meadow and you get to the edge of the trees and you turn and you look and there's no cottage.
What? What?
And you look, but there just isn't a cottage. There's just a meadow that goes up into the mountainside.
Whoa. Whoa.
But you stand there and you like, part of your instinct says to go back and another part of your instinct says to go and get people and another part of your instinct says, this reeks of beasts and tales.
Oh my goodness. I start making my way back to the castle.
Going back to the castle?
Yeah.
You were about half a day away? Because you went late into the night, you went all the way up the mountainside, all the way across to the waterfall. Although having said that, you know a faster way to get there now because you know your way to the waterfall.
Yes, that's true actually.
So you start heading down roughly the way you came the previous night. It's woozy as hell still, stumbling on occasion, occasionally reaching for your sword, only to be shocked to find that you were disarmed. And you liked that sword. It was a plain sword, a simple sword, but it was very well balanced and it was like your tool of choice. And you start to hear the distant sound of the waterfall as you start to approach. Make a perception check at disadvantage. Because you're still woozy. And you just heading towards the waterfall and you don't really pay attention to your surroundings at all. Just stumbling through, you get there and you're glad to arrive at water and you just get your head down at the edge of the waterfall and start drinking the water and it's like, oh god, this is helping. I need the liquid intake.
Splash it on my face.
And you start to wonder to yourself a little bit about Evelyn and the porridge and why she was so keen to make you eat it and why she seemed to be beckoning for you to leave and then why she actually just seemed to stab you at the command of this woman. And you're not sure about exactly what's been going on, but
mixed
something is very, very awry with the world.
Yeah. Have I ever experienced anything like this before?
Make an intelligence check.
18.
You remember an old tale? You remember the tale of the tale of the fallen scarecrow, which tells the tale of a farmer that was mean to his family mean to his wife, mean to his daughters. Always wanted a son but could never have one. And one night, the woman, feeling sorry for her husband, made a pact to make a son for her husband. And the scarecrow, and she made a pact with a demon, and the scarecrow became a son, and so she was magically impregnated. And years down the line, a woman came to the farmstead demanding that her son be returned to her. And the farmer was so taken by his own son that he would not listen to her or relinquish her, and she commanded the son to kill the farmer, and the son did. But it was a female demon in the story that the pact had been made with as well. And the farmer's wife was left bereft. Beware of strangers.
Basically, yeah. Wow, okay. Something strange is happening, he says to himself as he gulps one last handful of water. And he makes his way as quick as possible, using the quickest route possible, back to the castle, with the intention of now getting a massive force together to go look for Libby.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
18.
As you're moving away or past the waterfall, and the sort of waterfall's receding out of earshot behind you, so it's sort of not interfering with you. And you look up as well, and you sort of notice that it's late morning now. You start to hear the sound of dogs coming through the woods, somewhere higher, and you remember that Jeffrey had promised to meet you, and that if at the very least you're certain that his loyalty means that he was probably out at first light pursuing your trail.
Looking for me, yeah.
So you assume that maybe that's the sound.
Okay, it's logical then to go towards that sound, because I assume it's Jeffrey. So, perhaps, yeah, I'm going to call out, Jeffrey! Jeffrey, is that you?
Again, it's too far away.
He still calls it.
Okay,
yeah.
as you call out, and then as you start making your way and shouting, and
Jeffrey!
But what surprises you is you don't see Jeffrey. Instead, you see a sort of a red, furry bolt coming through towards your voice. Just like hammering it through the woods, and it's almost like a fox or something being pursued.
I instinctively go to grab my sword,
Which isn't
there, and I go, damn it!
And suddenly facing you is a fairly shabby looking dog, and it barks at you.
I know who that is!
It seems lost and confused. And
is he barking at me aggressively?
No, it's barking like somebody has to be out there somewhere.
Like he's glad to have met somebody.
Like it's just like it's looking for somebody.
Okay. Well then I instinctively kneel to one knee.
And it looks at you tentatively.
And I hold my hand out, not palm up, but palm down with the fingers closed, and offer the dog to smell my hand.
And it kind of tentatively takes a few steps forward.
And I just gently hold it there.
Sniffing. And it comes over and it sort of sniffs your hand for a bit and then sort of licks at it like You're a human. You're okay.
And at that lick, I give him a nice
And
rub.
it responds to you like a dog that has been around humans a lot at some point in its life. Like, it's clearly like a dog of people rather than a wild dog. Even though it looks a bit shabby around the edges and like it might have been a wild dog.
Well, it's good to see a friendly face as well.
And it kind of looks at you very, very sadly and sort of whines a little bit and then like sort of bites at your sleeve a little bit and like almost tries to tug you in a direction.
Knowing dogs very well, he's been around Jeffrem, the backstory of the relationship with animals and dogs. He's aware that this dog is trying to tell him something. He has experience of dogs enough to think, okay, now this dog's trying to tell me something. So he what is it, boy? Okay, yeah, okay. Go on. What is it?
And it starts leading you through the woods and you're going to fall.
Yes.
It's the wrong direction. It's leading you away from the castle. Along the hillside at a fairly even level, but it's sort of going the wrong way with a slight climb upwards.
Oh, goodness. Oh. This could be something to do with Libby. I think of Jeffrem. Oh, goodness. I'd like to leave some sort of sign. So if Jeffrem is out looking for me, like, I've got a dagger on me, right? I do have a dagger on me. I'd like to carve an arrow into the trees, into the direction that I'm traveling. So if Jeffrem were to come and find this tree, hopefully he would assume that's me that's carved.
What is the Wentworth coat of arms as well? Because you are a sir.
Ooh.
What's the symbol of Wentworth? First thing that comes into your head.
First thing that comes into my head.
Why are you called Wentworth?
Wentworth is it's a bag of gold with a split in the bottom and pennies falling out.
Okay, so you can carve like a triangle with a couple of circles underneath as like a symbol of that. So you could put like carve your coat of arms and an arrow. Could be something that Jeffrem will recognise.
Excellent. Yes, I'll do that, and I'll continue to do that on the trees leading where this dog is leading me. So I'm leaving a trail basically.
Okay.
I don't know. I've just got this. Even though it's the wrong direction, I've just got this really strong urge to go with this dog. It might be something to do with Libby. I'm not too sure. My instinct is to go with the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.